What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Tall Podcast, but we are back here with the first episode of the 2023 NFL season Battle Bird Podcast. Unfortunately, we are missing one of our guys. The season, which took long to get here, now feels like it's coming fast and furious. With all that being said, you still got two of the three. He might pop in later, depending on how his day goes, but Fresh, how are you feeling for the first pregame of this 2023 NFL season?
Yo, that man, what's going on, man? It's been a while since we've been on BBP. Well, this ain't the first pregame, Mike, but it's the first real thing, man. And I'm actually excited, man. I do think that Jalen Hurts is on a redemption year. I think that he's going to prove to the league it just wasn't 1 year. He's really putting in the work, and he's been in a situation to where as though he'd been here before, losing a championship game, now losing the Super Bowl, and it's time. I think it's time. It's time that he shows the league we can go all the way with this. I mean, when you really look across, I know the Niners doing what they doing right now, but don't let all that fool y'all. Don't let all that fool y'all. You got to understand who they playing. But when you look at it, man, I mean, I think the NFC is us to lose. You know what I mean? I'm very, very excited about this, man. I appreciate everybody. Everybody that's been with me through this whole journey of everything that's been going on with me these last couple of months. It's definitely been a while. I appreciate all of y'all, man. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, I agree. I think that, prior to this one game, which we're going to talk a lot about, right? There's the critics and the division rivals all hoping that Jalen Hurts had that one great season. And I don't believe that at all. I think that it's only going to be, going up for him. And I like the challenge that we faced in week one, right? Not a great overall team, like not a top 5 team overall, but a top 8 defense last year. If you look at total yards against, DVOA and all that, and they pretty much brought back everybody on the defensive side. Jack Jones, I'm not sure if he's going to be in or out. Didn't practice Thursday, but I did see an article yesterday that he's going to try to give it a go. We'll see where that lands. They did add Christian Gonzalez, someone that a lot of Eagle fans were looking at as a possibility prior to bringing back both Slay and Bradbury, right? Once upon a time in the offseason, we thought Bradbury was not going to be here. So we were looking at a Christian Gonzalez, a Witherspoon from Illinois, but we kind of sidestepped the cornerback position for the simple fact we went ahead and re-signed our guys. How do you feel this defense is going to – how do you think the Eagles are going to respond early in this game against this defense?
All right, so let me just address the elephant in the room. And what I do think their conception might be wrong with this when I say this. The middle of the field. I know people have doubts about the middle of the field. I know people have doubts about the linebacker position and the safety position. And here's what I'm going to say. We don't know what we're getting. So it is pristine, and it is also I get it. I really do. But to me, I don't want people to worry. I don't think that, yes, you can attack the middle of the field, or you could try to attack the middle of the field, but you got, to me, man, a guy that would have played last year would have been rookie of the year in the Kobe Dean. I mean, you seen the one game that he played, led the team in tackles for loss, was everywhere on the field. I don't know for the life of me. This is one of the things that I did not like about the Philadelphia Eagles last year. Is really one of the only things, for real, is that Kobe Dean didn't get enough playing time. I do think that as the year went on, I think he would have been the best linebacker on the field, other than Hassan Reddick, but they put him at linebacker, but we all know he's a pass rusher, but you get what I'm saying. So, to me, I love the safety room. I still don't know who's starting across from Reed Blankenship. And to me, it's a gift and a curse. What I say that is, yes, I would love to know, but Bill Belichick doesn't know neither. You know what I mean? His offensive coordinator doesn't know neither. So that could be a gift and a curse, but I just need to know, do they know? Do you know,
Yeah.
or are you just going to try to figure it out on a win? That's the only thing that I'm very curious about to see who is going to start. To
I think
me,
Terrell Edmonds.
you think Edmonds? I'm going the other way. I'm going
You
the other
think
way. I'm going with the rookie, man. I'm going with the rookie, man. I like
I'm
him.
not saying I wouldn't do that. I just think that if I had to take my educated guess on what the Eagles are going to do, I believe they
Uh,
throw Edmonds out there first.
yeah, I mean, you picked him up in free agency. He has more experience, but I don't think he's the better player. Now, no, I'm not gonna say the better player. I don't think he's the more talented player, if I should say.
Doesn't
You know
have
what
the
I
same
mean?
upside as Sidney Brown.
Exactly. I think Sidney Brown, I think he wanted them, man. And I think we got a couple guys on our team, especially in the secondary, that I think they they got some talent over there, man, with these young guys. But to me, this defense, when you talk about especially the young guys up front, I don't think that we lose too much. You still got Hassan Reddick, you still got Fletcher Cox. Yes, you did lose Hargrave, and that's double-digit sacks right there. I get it, I understand, but that man
But if you
is
take
not
if you could
irreplaceable.
take them if you take Hargrave sacks off, we still came in first place last year. That's how I
Yeah,
think we
that
were like
yeah.
we were
I
like
mean,
15 or the closest person was like 15 to us. So you could take his 11 off and we still were in first. That's how talented we were. Minus and we added the Philly dogs too, you know.
right. Yeah, and you're right. And then you got a situation to where as though I do think Jalen Carter, I think all of them Georgia dogs, man. Shout out to you, Mike, for that. All of them Georgia dogs, I mean Philly dogs, should I say? All the Philly dogs, man, they going to get some playing time. Them young dudes, man, got talent, got real talent. It's a reason that them guys went in the first round in the NFL. You know what I mean? Then you got your last year pick, man. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say it's gonna be scarier than last year, but man, it's gonna be a problem because Jordan Davis gets more playing time. You know what I mean? I do think that he should have played more. I understand he did get the injury, but I do think that he should have played more. So I like what I'm seeing from this young team. And like you said, you're going against some of them for the most part. You got a nice hand of people. This is the first NFL game. You know what I mean? And not to be able to throw them to the wolves, you don't have to play the likes of a Kansas City or just one of the better teams. You get to play an average kind of quarterback, and you get to fill out what's really going on in the NFL with NFL speed and everything. So I mean, I think as the year goes on and the year progresses, man, I think this defense is going to get better. I do think it's going to take a little bit more time than it would with the offense because, I mean, look at the offense. Like, damn, like to me, it's like, how do you stop this offense? I mean, we can go on another segment about that, but yeah, I think the defense is going to take a little bit more time, but I don't think there's nothing to really worry about, especially week one.
Yeah, I agree. Week one could be tricky for the simple fact that last year we didn't play that much in preseason, but we still let Jalen Hurts and company get a drive or two. I know we maximize our drives and our practice of football speed in these joint practices, which they take very seriously, which we did against Cleveland and Indianapolis. However, Russ could be a factor early, but if there's one side of the ball that I'm like right now it should be more ready to go and or has the better just
Trajectory.
a better group is the offense. I do think the defense will catch up. I got high hopes for this defense, but there are more moving parts on the defense compared to the offense. And we do got two new signal callers. However, Brian Johnson was in that room last year with Nick Sirianni, with Shane Steichen. He's going to take some of the stuff he liked from last year with Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni and then implement some things that he wants to, not really draw up because that is a collaborative effort between Nick, him, the passing game coordinator, Jeff Stoutland's involved in that as well. Run game coordinator. All that being said, we don't know who Brian Johnson is on 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 last year, we knew what we did. But what is Brian Johnson going to do on 3rd and 3? Is he going to dump it off to a running back? Is he going to hand it off to a running back? Is he going to use Jalen Hurts' legs? Or, as some coordinators do, they get aggressive on 3rd and 3. Defense is preparing for you to only pick up 3 yards. Go over the top to an A.J. Brown, to a Devontae Smith once or twice. How is the play calling in certain situations on both sides of the ball? We saw preseason very vanilla, but we did see more blitzes just early on from Sean Desai, some more disguising, whether it was the starters in or not. This is where all that stuff puts itself on tape, right? Bill Belichick and his staff don't know who Brian Johnson and Sean Desai is, and we're all about to see. And I think that our defense should look good today. You're going against a Patriots offense that was bottom of the half last year, 25th or 26th in total offense. Yes, they get Zeke. Yes, they got a good running game, but they're not world beaters on the outside. The middle of the field, if our middle of the field can't hold up against Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki, which is decent, but there's a lot more explosive players that will be playing in the middle of the field in later weeks. So this is a very good test defensively where there's moving parts. You don't got much to stop. There's some things there, 12-man personnel with the tight ends and the running backs, but this offense is getting put to the test right away. We're not playing a Vikings defense. We're not playing a Texans defense. We're playing a top 10 defense off the rip. So if we drop a 35 burger, NFL, be aware, because say what you want about Mac Jones and the Patriots receivers. That's a Bill Belichick-led defense, and if you put up 30 on them, 30 is the minimum we're dropping every single game.
Hey, here's the thing with that, and I said this to the do's and don'ts yesterday. Make sure y'all go check that out. I think that you got to start fast because Matt Jones is not a guy that's gonna be able to go total. He's not gonna shoot it out with you, and he's not gonna be able to bring you back. You know what I mean? Just like how, all right, say you're in a situation to where though the 49ers are right now. They up 17 in the first quarter, basically. If you get a chance to do that, like you did basically breeze, and I don't, but the only thing with that is, and I would love it, but we're not going to be able to see the full potential of the playbook. Because then after that, everything is going to be Manila. You know what I mean? They're going to be cruising. They're not going to try to blow anybody out. I don't see the Philadelphia Eagles doing that. You know what I mean? Being as though it's week one, number one. Tom Brady gonna be there to get his to tie his jersey and all that. So we're gonna be respectful. So I do think, and we're gonna talk about the score prediction later, but I do think we put up a 30 piece. I think we do it respectfully though, Mike. I think we score like 14 one quarter, then we take off and score field goal the next quarter, and then we give you another two touchdowns, something like, you know what I mean, like. But I do think when you look at the two teams, especially when it comes to the offense, yes, that is a good defense. But when you look at our offense, it's too much talent. It's just too much talent. I'm be saying this a lot for a lot of games. I am like, it's too much talent over there. First, you start with the quarterback, then you got the two captain wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like, both had over 1,000 yards. A.J. Brown had over 1,500 yards. You know what I mean? And you bring in my guy. Make sure y'all go cop up the DeAndre Swift shirts, man. These drones is crazy, man. Make sure y'all go grab. The link is in the description. But then you grab him. Rashad Penny, for some reason, I'm hearing that he might not play today, but that still is a good pickup. You got Kenneth Gainwell. He looked like he was in the playoffs. He looked like he was the full-time running back anyway. And then the offensive line, like, do we need to go to the University of Scotland? Like, we don't need to. So when you really look at it, man, I don't know defensively how you'll beat this team. You're going to have to beat us with offense, and I don't think this is the team to do it. And I cannot wait. I don't know. I did tune in to you and shout out LB yesterday. I don't know if y'all talked about this, but I can't wait for Bradbury to lock up Juju Smith-Schuster, man. Because you know he was doing all that yapping. He was doing all that Twitter stuff. Yeah, he was doing all that Twitter stuff and all. I cannot wait for him to lock this dude up, man. First of all, it was a horrible, and I don't even think we ain't go live since the Super Bowl, have we? I don't think we did. Nah.
What?
We ain't go live since the Super Bowl.
We talked about we did a preseason battle bird, did we? No,
Yeah,
probably not.
We did. I'm tripping.
A little bit, a
Yeah,
little bit.
but when you look at it, like, first of all, that was a horrible call. But then he talking, I hope I can't wait. I know he's gonna lock him up. Akon and them. I know he's gonna lock him up. But yeah, man, this team too talented. Too talented. Go ahead, Mike.
I agree. Shout out to Chris Kaufman Jr. with the $2 super chat. He said the only thing that worries me is the weather. So, what is the weather in Boston today? Are we expecting rain, high winds? Like Chris, let us know what the weather is. I didn't hear no reports on the weather. I'm watching the Cleveland game right now, and I see they got their ponchos on. You know what I mean? And
It's like a
rainy.
It's like a hurricane that like Philly got it too. Philly got it crazy yesterday, like crazy yesterday. It's like a hurricane that had passed by, and it's like the aftermath of it. So like basically like the whole east side.
Thunderstorms, rains. But here, look, that's gonna put, again, at the end of the day, I think the Eagles are one of the better rushing teams in the NFL. I do, and as Fresh was talking about possibly coming out and doing what the San Francisco 49ers are doing to the Steelers, 17-0. How are we going to continue to call plays with a 17-point lead? Blah, 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 blah. The Patriots are limited. Like, let's look at it from the New England Patriots side. Their game plan is, and pretty much only is, keep Jalen Hurts in the offense off the field. Time of possession is key for them. They're probably going to go heavy 12-man personnel because they want to run the ball and hit the seams. They're going to probably want to attack the new safeties, the new linebackers, and run the ball with Ezekiel Elliott, who does beat up the Eagles when he plays, and Ramondre Stevens. I know he got nicked up or whatever. He had an illness. He didn't practice. I do think he's going to give it a go. All that
they said he's playing.
There you go. So again, if we go up 17-0, well, now they got to air it out. Now they got to get receivers on the field. Now they can't just hand it off to the running backs, right? That's what they want to do. They want to come out and do what Washington did to us last year. Week 8, time of possession, run the ball, heavy personnel set. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do that if we come out there and bang, bang. We go up 10-17. That forces them to change their game to something that they're not comfortable with doing. The one thing the Eagles got this season, and we've seen it last season, we are comfortable playing any style. You want to grind it out? We got that. You want to play hard defense? We got that. You want to shoot out? We got that. We need to run and score, pass and score. You want our quarterback to pass or run? We have almost every element. The only thing that we can't do is win a special teams game. You know what I mean? A special team game we can't win, maybe. But other than that, and not
don't let it come down to that though.
Aaron Sipos called back up.
Mike, we were supposed to be having a good conversation. What you doing here, man? What you doing here?
Like, no, 20 minutes I had to bring.
First of all, he buns when you didn't even put him on the first 53-man roster.
And then you started working out punters. You started working out punters and kept them for just in case. Just in case.
Like I'm shocked that none of these guys could beat this dude out. I'm trying to. I think they really like him, and I mean this is what I hear. It's because he's a good placeholder. I don't care about that.
I did just watch Ace Ventura. Laces out is important. That's Ray Finkel. You know what I mean? I just showed my son that.
I know you talk about. I don't care about none of that, Mike. I need somebody that's going to be able to pin them down in the red zone, not somebody that's going to shank it right when it's supposed to go left, not somebody that's not going to give it they all. Listen, man, they say it's a weakness on every team. You are the weakest link. Like, you are the weakest link, man, and it's not even close. It's by far. Like, I think the water boy is more important than you right now. Like, seriously. What are we
Facts.
doing here? That's that when I said it was only a couple things I didn't like about the situation that about the Eagles, that's one. That's one. They gotta fix it.
Yeah.
They gotta fix it. Or he gotta
Facts.
play
And
better. Maybe they seen something in practice. I don't know. I don't know.
well,
I don't like
at least he's playing with the understanding that his job ain't fully safe. Like the dude was not brought onto the 53-man roster to start. He got brought back on the practice squad. He watched the Eagles bring in Pat O'Donnell, something Gillikin, right? Like we brought in 2 to 3 punters and tried them out. Now,
yeah.
the scary part is the punters we brought in not showing the Eagles anything that Sitballs did, which is kind of weird because, again, we're not a big believers in Aaron Sitballs. The fact of the matter was the Eagles left him on the practice squad, brought in punters, and then called him up the day before the game. So he knows that the only way he stays on this roster is if he yo that, as Eminem said for Philly Fresh, kick some good footballs. You know what I mean?
Man.
Kick some good footballs. He has to do it. All that being said, I do think that he's not the long-term answer. I think that the Eagles are going to continue. Watch, you're going to hear in the middle of the week, we worked out some more punters. But him knowing his job is on the line, for real, could be just what we need. Because, when he first got here, we liked him. Remember, we were calling Sitballs.
But it's not even, he doesn't, to me, he doesn't, what, Legatron or something?
No. Well, Legatron is the guy that Ty Zenter that we brought in, and then he didn't make it. We cut him.
Oh yeah. Listen, but here's the thing: you saying he could lose the job? I don't think he has the job.
He don't.
I don't think he has
He's
the job.
intern.
I think whoever that they was going to bring in got sick or missed a flight or something. So we just gonna call you at last minute, and we gonna figure this out. But I don't know if he is the future punter going forward for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, Mike, he's one of the reasons we lost that Super Bowl. Like a big reason. A big reason.
I know.
He's
big
horrible.
Reason.
He's bad.
My whole thing is how the Caribbean don't even catch that ball. You saw him on Thursday.
Thursday, I ain't gonna lie, man. They should have checked his. They should have checked his account after the game. Like to make sure he ain't get paid off. Because something wasn't right with that one, man. Something wasn't right with that one. Yeah. And then you got in other news, you got a guy on Derek Barnett who requesting a trade. I don't know where that went or what's going on with that, or if he's going to play or whatever the case may be. But you requesting a trade, like to me, only stars request a trade. Like he the first person that I seen in football and basketball that's not a star and requesting a trade. Even Ben Simmons was a star in his own way when he wanted a trade. He was though, Mike. He was a star in his own way. Being 6'10" and a point guard, and he had dimes. He got dimes. He was more of a star than Derek Barnett. Yes,
yeah. I think it was more like I don't think it was like a demand like that. I think it was more like, he spoke with the organization and they were like, I think it was more like the Eagles allowed him to go seek a trade for the simple fact that he's like, he knows he's not going to get much PT. Somewhere else he'll get more PT. And the Eagles are like fringe trying to get rid of him too. So he's like, if you can find a nice trade that benefits us and you, we might just pull the trigger on it. But real quick, Eagles landed, said Sam Howell just fumbled, and the Cardinals got a touchdown. What's the score in that game now? Somebody in the chat, Fresh, what's the score in that game? Downstairs, I got the NFL. Downstairs, I got red zone. Upstairs, I only got regular cable.
I'm looking down, Mike. You said what?
Washington got 3 fumbles, 13-7. I mean, they're still winning. Cardinals they got Josh Dobbs starting. Joshua Dobbs.
Well, how long is Murray supposed to be up?
What do you say?
How long Murray supposed to be up?
Who?
Murray. Their quarterback.
How long he's supposed to be out? Yeah, I
Yeah.
kept hearing Amari. I'm like, are you talking about Amari
Oh
Cooper?
no,
Not.
no. Kyler Murray. You had me questioning myself. Like, hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know how long he's supposed to be out. But they didn't name Joshua Dobbs as a starter to like a couple days before the season start. I guess he's supposed to come back week 5, but man, the Cardinals. ah,
That's
that's
crazy.
probably the easiest game you can get for as a Commander fan. That was probably the
No,
easiest.
because they not even covering. Oh, I thought you meant for betting wise, because they not even covering. I think it's like 8.5. They got like 8.5 points.
Yeah, well, the reason it was 8.5 because that's how bad the Cardinals are for sure. Uh, but yeah, back to the Patriots. The
Yo,
Eagles were what?
why the Bengals hasn't scored yet? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The bang. I'm saying, that the Browns defense is not that bad. I was curious to see how Watson played with us having joint practice with him and him looking a little shaky. But look, they're inside the 20 at the 13-yard line right now. Watson trying to get him up 10-0. That's crazy. The Bengals getting smacked. Anyways, back to the Patriots. Do you like the line we have? I think it's what, 3.5 as a road team. You like that line? You think it's too little? Too
I seen 4. I seen 4 yesterday.
four?
I
Remember,
mean,
we're the
respectfully,
road team.
yeah. I mean, respectfully, yeah. I would have liked to see it at 2.5, just so it's not that much. Like, you don't want to overconfident. I'll be overconfident, but I don't think this team really cares about none of that. I mean, especially when you
I
got a
took it.
leader in Jalen Hurts. Huh? You took it?
I took it. We gonna beat them by more
I
than
took it too.
4.
But I took it at 4. Yeah,
Same with me.
that
Same
was
with me.
crazy though. Crazy pause.
Facts.
Yeah, but Mike, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm lagging. I'm lagging, Mike.
A little bit.
Lagging. Yeah, let me come back in. I'm coming back in.
All right,
Pause.
hop out and come back in. I'll talk to the chat for a little bit. Purdy looks good. Hey, so far, shout out to the Niners. The Niners are doing their thing. The Steelers came in as the home team, opportunity to do some things. They signed Bosa, and Purdy looks good. The Niners coming out showing that they are a legit team in the NFC to be messed with. I ain't mad at that. 23 days later, said, bro, I need Scary Terry to go off in my fantasy. Depends on it. Sheesh. It always sucks rooting for a division rival, but hey, we knew they were going to beat the Cardinals. So go off, Terry. Go off. 20-0 in a Steelers versus Niners game. Steelers inside the red zone, though, for the first time, probably. Pickett throws a strike, and it was almost caught for a touchdown. He got popped. Sheesh. Pickett looking straight. True to that ash. Tone Chosen in the building. What's up with you? Dizzy Dragon said this dude Louis T. Hey, Louis T. He got them Hal hats. I don't know how good Hal's doing, but they're probably gonna beat the Cardinals regardless. Probably gonna beat the Cardinals. D Dragon in the building. Dontello Dragon. What's going on with you? Chiquita, Marcus Kane, Jaquil Williams. 23 days later, Ed G. Shout out to everybody in the building. Fresh back. What's up with you?
Yo, that. My bad for the little delay. I don't know, man. I gotta get this router fixed, man. It's my Wi-Fi. It's my Wi-Fi, y'all. Um, yeah, Mike. Like I was saying though, like the point spread is okay with me because you got a leader in Jalen Hurts that they don't care about. He don't care about none of that. All he trying to do is find a way to be able to pull a game out. Rain, sleet, hell, snow don't matter. Don't matter. He's trying to figure it out, and I think that he will time and time again this upcoming season. I'm so excited for the season, man. I do think I'm not going to say a Super Bowl or bust. That's not what I'm going to say. I do want to see things. I do want to see certain people elevate. Would love to see how good this defensive line is going to be. Um, I'm not saying that you have to hold up to whatever we did last year, whatever the case may be. I'm curious about Hassan Reddick after getting after Nick Bosa getting what he just got paid. Like, damn, he got paid like a quarterback. That's crazy.
34 mil, bro.
Yeah, only person that got paid like that when quarterbacks was getting money like that was JJ Watt. Like, this is crazy. Like, and to me, I mean, yes. He's one of the best pass rushers in the game right now. No hating, not trying to put no hate on him, but I don't know, man. He gets shut down. Like, he gets
Yeah,
shut
I
down.
mean, he ain't do nothing against us. Lane Johnson owned him. You know what I mean? But
That's what I'm
he was
saying.
defensive
That's
player of the year.
yeah, and rookie. He was rookie defensive player of the year too, right?
Yeah, when he was a rookie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
usually how
But
that go. Like,
I'm saying though, the defensive player of the year he just recently got is part of that
yeah,
negotiation on saying 34 million. What was it, 120 something guaranteed? But again,
he
once you
got paid
do
like a
that, you open up a
quarterback.
can of worms for all these legit defensive ends. Micah Parsons. Hey, it's a good thing. Dallas is going to be faced with a tough situation with Micah Parsons. They're going to have CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Tony Pollard. They're going to have a lot of key guys coming up at the same time.
Yeah, we are too, though. We are too. I mean, it's years to go down the line, but when you have 2 first-round picks, and and then you got
Yeah,
the
but that
Kobe
that that
Dean.
that's 4 years
Yeah,
from
that's
now.
what I'm
That's
saying.
not
It's
next
down
year.
the line. I'm just saying it's down the line.
We gonna have 2 Lombardis by then. You know what I mean? We won't be sweating the small stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 2 Lombardis by that time. We ain't really gonna be
I
mad
would
if we
love to
lose a
see
Philly.
that.
Nah, I don't want to lose no Philly dog for sure, but 2 Lombardis sound good. Dizzy Dragon with the $2 super chat. Didn't say nothing, but I respect the gangster. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and let your team do the talking. I ain't mad at that at all. Dontello Dragon with the $2 super chat. He said, watching and hoping Gannon and the Cards both lose. Let's throw out a tie there. It's always good to start week 1 with a tie. Cowboys Giants tie. Washington Cards tie.
Yeah,
Supposedly, according to the chat, the Cardinals are winning 13-10. Sam Howe, my boy
it was
2020 Vision
13-7.
keeps putting it in the air.
Oh, it's
New
10 now.
Howe order. That's according to Louis T, one of the commander guys. I'm curious to see what he's done. I know he fumbled, but like, what does that stat line look like for Howe? Oh my, almost threw a pick.
Who?
Uh, who do you think is going to be the go-to guy today for Jalen Hurts? Again, he got so many targets, including the guy on your chest, DeAndre Swift. You know, he could come out and hit like a 30-yard wheel route at any time, any given time. But you know what's crazy? I just got Madden 2 days ago, right? I was late getting a new Madden. DeAndre Swift hands are trash in Madden.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
he be dropping. I'm like, what? So I literally had to put,
Well,
yo,
as the
it's
season go
crazy.
on, that's gonna get upgraded.
I just
As the
better be
seasons go
upgraded.
on, that's gonna get upgraded for Agent Zero, man. Yeah,
But
that's Agent Zero right there. Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that.
I'm with you. I'm with you. He get open on his routes. He just don't catch it. In Madden, we're gonna see what happens today. But who do you think out of the pass catchers is going to have the big day? Like, this could be a day where it's evenly distributed, right? You know, 2 guys closing in on 100, blah, blah, blah. But who do you see being, when it's all said and done, the guy with the most receiving yards via the Eagles, pass catchers?
This might sound crazy. Not crazy, but this might sound kind of different to you. Just listening to AJ Brown, and I hated the fact that like the Philly media, man, sometimes does a horrible job. Like, but anyway, basically trying to pin those two, who is better, whatever the case may be. I think that
Yeah.
AJ Brown and the rest of the team really respect that. I mean, the rest of the team really expect that Devontae Smith is going to be one of those ones. Like his route running, his foot placement, his hands. Yes, he doesn't skinny Batman. He's not the biggest guy. But when you talk about just being able to play the wide receiver position, wow. Now, it's the difference between him and AJ Brown because AJ Brown, he's bully Batman. That's what I call him. I call him bully Batman. So the route runner is not as crisp, but he has a catch radius and he snatch it out of the air. So it takes up for the route running, and it's not like he can't run routes. So, but the technician that Devontae Smith is, I don't know too many people in the league. Justin Jefferson, um, who else? Like the actual route running, man, is when you really look at it, it's crazy. And I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a reason why he's a captain, and I think that they're going to make it a they're going to make it one of those things where we're going to say we're going to show the league how dangerous Devontae Smith really is. So I think they come out week 1, and I think Devontae Smith gets the most targets. I think he goes over 100 yards with a touchdown.
I said yesterday with LB. I think Devontae still remembers the fact that he had 0 catches for 0 yards week 1 last year. You know what I mean? And everybody panicked and said, "Oh man, AJ Brown is the best friend of Jalen Hurts. He's not going to target Devontae no more." Blah blah blah. I think
Remember
both
that.
have the opportunity to eat for sure. Kristen said AJ Brown. Stu, what's going on with you? Chris said Devontae Smith. It's, a little back and forth up in here. I said yesterday I got Devontae Smith eating today. But since you took Devontae, I'm gonna go AJ now because I went Devontae with LB. I can't lose. You know what I mean? I'm like, I told you AJ Brown did. I told you Devontae. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm saying. You can't lose, period, with this
You really
offense,
can't lose
Mike.
with
Like,
either of them. 2 wide receiver one for sure.
facts. That's facts, man. It's fact. Like Mike, it's not even close. Yes, love T.O., love Harold Carmichael brung to the table. But this is and is going to be the best wide receiver duo that the Philadelphia Eagles has ever had. And I don't even think it's close. Like, I don't think it's close. What you think?
Say the last part again,
I
real
mean,
quick.
they're a duo.
Bijan Robinson scored his first touchdown. They showing the highlights. I didn't get to see it, but it looked nice. He broke like 3 tackles. But go ahead, say it again.
No, basically what I was saying is, I think that Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are the best wide receiver duo that the Philadelphia Eagles ever had, and it's not even close. Like, love what Harold Carmichael brought to the game. Mike Quick, love those two. Love with T.O., but T.O., like
He
like
ain't have a
Kershaw
partner in
said,
crime.
shout out to her. He wasn't here long enough. You know what I mean? But these two, man, I'm like, they the best duo in the game. They're the best duo in the game. And when, as a Philadelphia Eagle, Mike, have you ever been able to say that? When have you ever been able to say we got a bona fide wide receiver, period? And then
That's
now
what I'm
you got
saying.
2. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem for the league to come. It's going to be a problem, man.
Facts. Look, even if you say T.O. was, T.O. was great. T.O. was T.O., but he ain't have that partner in crime. You know what I mean? Deshaun, like prior to having both Devontae Smith and AJ Brown on the roster, right? I was looking at Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin again. Not saying these guys are better than T.O., but T.O.'s the best, but then it goes Deshaun and Maclin before T.O.'s counterpartner, right? But now you got a guy like AJ Brown who's so similar to T.O., right? I'm not gonna say who's better to comparison. AJ Brown got to play a lot more seasons, right? T.O. did it for a long time, but the counterpartner Devontae Smith, not only is he in his own realm as a wide receiver one, but to have them two together is just nasty. If you wanted to be critical, you can argue Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Who's the better duo? Again, just off of what these guys like. If you look at again, production wise, Smitty and AJ had more touchdowns than Waddle and Tyreek Hill, but Tyreek Hill and Waddle had more yards than AJ and thing, but they were 1-2 and 1-2 of each category. That being said, Waddle and Tariq are similar receivers, the burners. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get like the total opposite. Like I don't like to put them in a box because I do believe AJ is a better route runner than people give him credit for, and Devontae Smith can contested catches better than people give him credit for. But you got the route runner and the bully man opposite of each other. So like the fit is so well. I think this year we're playing a tougher schedule. We are going to have to put more points on the board this year than we did last year. Not saying we're going to lose. Like, I'm not worried about our schedule because I believe rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles are trying to go. You know what I mean? However, we're going to have to put more points on the board. That's why I think the box score comes up for a guy like Jalen Hurts. And if his box score comes up passing, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith had 2,696 yards as a duo. If Jalen Hurts stats go up, them going up too.
That's facts.
And so, yeah, Goddard might eat, Swift might eat, other players might eat, but man, I'm thinking that we gonna have the most yards as a duo come the end of 2023, pending everybody stays healthy, all that stuff. Can't really talk that, but I mean, Bill Belichick, a defensive guru, has to be sitting right now or all week was like, what am I gonna do, bro? Like,
I think he made up his mind. I think he been made up his mind what he's
I'm
going to do.
stopping one of them. I'm gonna double one of them, and then let's see if the other one beats me or something like that.
Yeah, but I think he's more focused on just getting after the quarterback, getting
the run game. He want to stop Jalen Hurts RPO.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop the RPO before it even gets started. I think he's going to blitz the heck out of Jalen Hurts. I do, but to
that's
me,
one-on-one on the outsides.
Yeah, that's why I picked DeAndre Swift. I think it's going to be. I said DeAndre Swift. Sorry, that's why I picked Devontae, because I do think it's going to be the ball's going to be coming out of his hand fast, and it's going to be some screens. You know what I mean? It's going to be some button hooks, some comeback routes, and when you got a worker like Smith, man, it's going to be some work put in. I mean, but then you got a guy that we didn't even name yet. And yes, he's a tight end, but he also is a receiver. It's Dallas Goedert. He's the top five tight end in the game. Period. Like, he's top five tight end in the game, and he is a problem. I just think opportunities and health sometimes gets him, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully he stays healthy for this year. You know what I mean? Well, for the foreseeable future. But I do think that he is a top 5 talent when it comes to tight ends. I can't name 6 tight ends better than him in the NFL.
Nah, you can't. He's definitely top 5. Where you put him in top 5 is debatable at times, bing, 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 boom, boom, but he's there. And that's why, as much as the talk was, who's the third wide receiver for the Eagles? Olamide Zaccheaus, Quez Watkins. I think that's a good problem to have between the two of them, right? However, they're not really the third wide receiver. Yes, on the depth chart, but they're their 4th pass catcher because Dallas Goedert is the legit third option. You know what I mean? 1A, 1B with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and then you got Dallas Goedert. You know what I mean? So, I'm gonna really pay attention to how the receivers rotate, right? Like where they line AJ, where they line Devontae. Yeah. And both can go into the slot too. So it's like Swift, getting work with the wide receivers. I do not think we're gonna, solely line him up in the slot at times and things of that sort. But he's gonna move around. I'm gonna love the fact when I'm like, okay, because listen, everybody in the chat, by 3:45, 4 o'clock, I'll be doing another live. So I gotta, get the Crown Rizzy right, and everything, because I'll be doing the play-by-play. But I can't wait to be like,
it's gonna be one of them. Well, I ain't even gonna ask you if you doing the post game. I already know it's gonna be one of them.
This week, man, this is gonna be gone. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna be like Kenny G and Swift lined up in the backfield. Swift motions to the slot, motions them back. I think they're gonna move them around. We've seen it all through the little practice clips of joint practice, and all that stuff. And there's a game plan for Swift, especially in a passing game. You know, now again, I just played Madden last night. He was dropping some passes. He better not be doing that in real life. I don't believe so. Swift,
Hey,
he's
Kirsten
scoring.
asked a good question. You hear me? I like what she asked. To answer a question, she asked, "What do y'all expect from Brian Johnson?" To tell you the truth, I don't know how much insight he had in last year. Um, the most thing I'm curious is about: are we still going to be aggressive on fourth down? Are you still going to have that trust in your quick? Because I remember earlier in a live, Mike, you was talking about third and threes, and I'm like, well, you might throw, you might run, because even if you pick up a yard, you know what I mean, you're probably going to go for it on fourth down. You know what I mean? I am curious to see what Brian Johnson is going to do with that. Brian Johnson known this kid his whole career, his whole life. I said career. He known him his whole life. And if anybody knows what makes him tick, if anybody knows what's his best ability, it's a guy that's been around forever. And I'm not going to say it's going to be tricky stuff, but I am going to say it's going to be comfortable things for Jalen Hurts to do, if you get what I'm saying. Like, he's going to make sure Jalen Hurts is comfortable no matter what the situation is. He already doesn't fold under pressure. Every down, it looked like on his face, every down is the same down, no matter if it's 4th and 20, or if it's 1st and goal. So, to me, Kirsten, to answer your question, I expect a lot from what we seen last year. I do expect them to dial it back a little bit on the whatever you want to call it, the butt push, or I don't know. There's so many names that people that the play that they tried to ban.
Push
I
tush.
do, yeah, push tush with a tush push, whatever. I do think that they'll dial it back on that. I mean, you did pick up Rashad Penny. You do have Swift, and you got Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell. So I understand that play is unstoppable. It's literally only been stopped. It was only stopped
Oh, I still
twice.
want to see that. If we need 1 yard, we better push
Yeah,
tush
yeah,
our
yeah,
way for
yeah. I
that.
do too. I do too. I'm 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 just saying I would rather see them for touchdowns than just for 4th and ones, man. Especially if it's like not no fourth down really is meaningless. But what I'm saying is if you really, really need it, yeah. But if it's like we already up like 20 points or something, and you just trying to prove a point, I don't think that you use your quarterback in that situation. You know what I mean?
Nah, I totally agree with you there. Like, I don't want to see the unnecessary, Jalen, we 3rd and 3, and Jalen Hurts does an RPO and runs for it and gets crushed, right? You know what I mean? That's the time I don't want to see him moving and running. But to Christian's question, look, I feel good about what I feel good about him and the knowledge of Jalen Hurts' game, right? I feel good because he was in the room with Sirianni and Steichen last year. He was a part of the game plan, and he's not planning for this whole game himself. Nick Sirianni is drawing up plays, calling what he wants to call, or getting the call sheet together. The sheet is getting put together by both these guys. Now, Brian Johnson is going to be the one to call the plays when and where we need him or he wants him to be done. So the situational football, we're going to see how Brian Johnson does that and how he utilizes the guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and the running backs who he don't know as much as Jalen Hurts. But again, being in the system last year, understanding all that, I feel pretty decent as you said. His understanding of Jalen Hurts is incredible. And again, it's not like he's just coming in brand new, only no Hurts. He was here. Sean Desai's the one who's just got here. He has to understand the strengths of a Slay, a Bradbury, a Fletch, guys who were here playing at a high level prior to him coming. But real quick, shout out to Justin Woods with the $1 donation. My guy Marcus Kane accidentally bleeped it out, but it wasn't. He didn't say anything anyways. It was a super sticker. So shout out to Justin Wood and Marcus Kane. It's all good. Sometimes you bump the wrong button. It's all good, my guy. But the chat is saying that Penny is out. Someone first said,
Yeah,
"Look, Christian,
I said that earlier. I was hearing that. I'm trying to
is he
figure out
out though? Is
like
it? Is it? Is
yeah,
it?
but yeah, but he's is I think they
He's
had
a
to make
healthy
room for sit
scratch,
balls. I think they had to make room for sit balls, Mike.
so he's the weak link. He the one who gets cut. That's
That's
crazy. Hold
crazy.
up.
I want like we still got 4 tight ends. Why? I don't know.
Oh
I
shoot!
know he's salty.
Where's
He's
it at on
salty.
Twitter? Yo, somebody tag me in on Twitter, please.
Yeah, do that to me too. I don't know how to use Twitter, so I need all the help. I need all the help from y'all I could get on Twitter. I need
Oh
to be
shit!
I need to be tagged and mentioned and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how to use it. So help a brother out. Help me help you. Because the more y'all tag me, the more content I can give y'all. Help
Who
me help
said
you. All right.
at Christian L. Eastburn? Who the hell is Christian L. Eastburn?
I don't know.
Let me
You
see.
know
I
not
want
to
to
ask
see
me,
what,
man.
what his credentials are to say healthy scratch. Christian.
We're I follow which one caller? What's his name? Elliot.
Elliot Shore Parks to the rescue. Now, but
Yeah,
I'm saying though,
Elliot Shore Parks, he be knowing everything,
but
man.
that's my thing. How come a guy who okay, Dave Zagaro just said it. Inactives.
No, Elliot said it too.
Yo, here it is. Inactives. The Eagles just put it up now, too. 31 seconds ago. Tanner McKee, Rashad Penny, Mario Goodrich, Eli Riggs, Tyler Steen, Moro Ojomo, and a tight end, Albert Okwagabaga Bigabaga. Woo! I don't know how to say his name. To Albert O. So Rashad Penny, a healthy scratch. Sheesh. That's
I don't
wild.
understand it. I don't understand it. He gonna request a trade next. That's disrespectful.
Yo, but
That's
yo, I mean,
disrespectful.
oh
That's
Lord, he's a
disrespectful,
healthy
yeah.
scratch.
That's
That's
wild.
crazy.
And especially it's even crazier if it's 4 sit-offs. Like, nah,
Right?
I ain't feeling that. I ain't y'all gonna kick me off a punter. All right, Mike. I know we getting out of here soon, so you want me to go first or you want to go first? Score prediction, offense and defense.
You could do it.
You
I'm
still
about
got
to.
you still got to keep the routine going, man. I know
Yeah.
Gates ain't here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
And
see if
score
I can text
prediction.
him to get his. You said what?
And score prediction, right?
Yeah. You want me to go first?
Yeah. Go ahead and get it. I can't believe he's late. I look again. I wanted to see real quick. One of the things I wanted to see was the dynamic of a Kenny Gainwell, the DeAndre Swift, and Rashad Penny backfield. How do the Eagles implement him? Do they play him? Do they play him? Do they play him? Well, guess what? They just scratched one out off the rip.
I thought you heard me say that earlier, Mike. I was
Yeah,
trying to
no, I
tell you.
did, but I thought you were saying that as like a that like a slight, like a real little slight maybe. That's crazy.
All right, so offense, Mike. I'm gonna go with
It's not Rashad Penny.
So I'm definitely going with his partner in crime. The shirt I got on. Make sure y'all go grab the shirt, man. You know these things is fire. I'm gonna go with Swift, man. I'm gonna go with Swift out the backfield, very dangerous. The footwork, y'all seen the only play that he played in preseason. He made the man break dance. He crossed him over without a basketball. I mean, it's not too many running backs that you see doing that. So I got to go with Swift. My defensive player, I'm going to go with Bradbury. I think Bradbury shuts down and gets an interception over Juju Smith-Schuster for all the bullcrap and all the talk that he was talking, all the tweets and all the dumb stuff because you got saved by a whistle. You got saved by a whistle. You didn't really do nothing all game. And then you got saved by a whistle and you want to talk smack about that. But that's neither here nor there. He locks him up, won't let him out. Akon. And my score prediction, I got it 31-13. 31-13. Switch
31. I like
hey,
it.
Gates,
31.
I just was
Gates
texting.
Gates, let me just get my score prediction. Yo, he came in for the one thing he hates the most.
I know, bro. What happened? How did I time this?
Listen,
I just was texting you. I was going to tell it for you, so you ain't had to go through it.
By next week, we will
Hey,
be
real
more
fast, Gates.
instinct.
What's your opinion on Penny being a healthy scratch?
It probably tells me that they view him more as kind of like the plan B in case something happens as a starting running back. I mean, as long as there's nothing being reported about a health setback, I'm not as concerned with that. It might take them some time to get a feel for if they think Kenneth Gainwell and these dudes can close out games. I think that's, if I'm looking at it from the X's and O's standpoint, that's the question that's got to be answered. Like when you got a 10 plus point lead and you're playing in the second half, how secure are you that Kenneth Gainwell and Swift and, Boston Scott, that these dudes can actually close the game out? The other thing I think it's a little weird, though, if I'm going to be honest, Fresh, is that like for special teams production, it's, I guess maybe because of all the health risk involved, they don't want to overutilize the player that way. But I mean, Penny's been a good special teams player in the past. I think with a team that's a little iffy on special teams, like if anything, he could have given you a little bit of an uptick there.
That's crazy. Like I said, that was one of the things I wanted to see, the dynamic from this backfield, right? How they utilize them, so I can kind of project for the rest of the season. They took one of the guys out the conversation. That being said, it's the Kenny G and DeAndre Swift show, and now I'm thinking that Kenny G literally might have more rushes than Swift. But Swift be utilizing the passing game more, especially with us only having 4 wide receivers on the roster, blah, 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 blah. Well, no, we call Covey up for punt returns, and he's a receiver as well. That being said, listen, everybody was poo-pooing on Gainwell since the new additions, but watch. He's going to have the most rushes, I believe. I think Swift's going to have, 4 or 5 targets, six targets. He'll have some catches. You know what I mean? Better not be like the Madden Swift. That being said, my offensive player, actually, you know what? We'll let Gate go second since he's up in the air.
What we doing? Players of the game?
Yeah, defensively, offensively,
and score prediction.
All right. Has anyone gone yet?
Yes, Fresh. Give him yours real quick again.
Oh yeah. I picked Swift and I picked Bradbury.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the easy route here, and I'm gonna go Nakobe Dean defensively. Green got a play calling, defensive line giving him opportunities to come in there. There's going to be plenty of opportunities in the run game, I think, to make plays. I think that's a cop out. I get it. I know y'all gonna probably call me out for taking the most obvious one, but hey, week 1, bro. I'm gonna take the layuffs if they're there. Offensively, are we still on the same deal? We can't say Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Offensively. No. Oh man, he said Swift. I don't even know who's going to have the majority of the handoffs, bro. This is a risky one this time around. Oh, I think this is a game Dallas Goedert could go off, and I know he's not 100% healthy, so there's some risk involved in saying that. But I just feel like Dallas.
What's wrong with Goedert?
He was one of those guys that I think kept kind of popping up and down on terms of the injury reports. I don't think he's anything like we got to be worried about it. But I think he did have a couple of days where
it's just it's his calf. It was his calf, but it was just for rest.
Yeah,
it was just for
rest.
Yeah,
I don't think he's
one of them like.
I don't think it's anything serious. I don't think it's anything serious. Like, I don't think it's anything serious.
It's just like the Hassan Reddick situation.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick was serious.
I'm gonna say Goddard. I think Goddard's a sneaky one, man. To where if you pay way too much attention to stopping the targets on the outside, Goddard could just eat you up, man, because I'm going to be honest, every time I was watching film on the 22 season, Goddard was the guy who just kind of like, if you really paid attention to the route concepts, he was opening everything up. They would double down on Goddard, and then everything else would just be wide open, and we were picking them apart on the outside. I think this is a year you're going to see teams start to try to pay attention and take away the outside targets, and I think Goddard's going to eat.
Yo, real quick, shout out to everybody. Drop your offensive, defensive player. We already started seeing it from Kristen Sweat, AJ. We see Brown, Jordan Davis, Smitty, Nakobe Dean, AJ, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, AJ. But look at this. Sanders already fumbling week 1 with Carolina. Sheesh. Come on, Sanders.
Really?
I mean, look, I still love the guy. I still want to do good as long as he's not playing against the Eagles. But come on, Brody. fumbling in the first game. Last game we seen you as an Eagle, you fumbled. Now you that's
man, the Colts and the Jags are in a game right
man.
now. Colts and the Jags are in a game. The
You
Vikings are
might
having
see
a hard
what you
time with the
want, but you
Bucks.
might not want what you get, Mike.
the Browns are playing nice. Watson,
The Cards got the Commanders down.
good. That's Washington sucks. I'm sorry.
I should have bet that one, bro. I should have bet that one.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I'm just getting a chance to catch up. I've been working, so I didn't get a chance to see anything. I was listening to the 49ers and the Steelers game.
Yeah, the Niners are putting a whooping on them. But all right, so let me get to mine real quick though. Wherever you're watching it, make sure you hit that like button. It's free, it's easy, it don't cost a thing, and it helps push out the content. You know what I mean? It's like, dapping up the content creators, all that good stuff. Plus, if you look in my chat, there's a link pinned to the top. It is the link for the live play-by-play that I will be starting at around 3:45. Sit back, watch the game, drink some beers, take some shots, and watch the Eagles do their thing.
My bad, Mike. I just noticed what you said, bro. It almost snuck by me. My bad, Mike. Joe Burrow's only put up 3 points on the Browns.
Yes.
Whew.
Now the Browns defense, I think, is going to be good this year. I think
they got a good defense.
They got a pass rush. They got a legit pass rush. Yeah.
I was in the NFL space yesterday, and I said, I think the Browns can pull this off. And everybody was like, no way, no way, no way. I'm like, look, just a little reporting from joint practice. The Browns kind of worked our offensive line some of them days in joint practice. And if you're out working the Eagles O-line, the Bengals O-line is food. And I said that, and look, 3 points for a guy like Joe Burrow, who's supposed to be, he's a top 3, top 5 consensus quarterback to the national media. With that being said, my offensive player is going to be, I told LB it was Devontae Smith. I think I'm going to stick with Devontae for the simple fact he had 0 yards week 1. I got Devontae. I really wanted to say Kenny G and then, watch everybody get mad for, the Swift love. And I love Swift too. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go Devontae Smith on offense. Defense, right? I want to say a Philly dog. I want to say a secondary piece. But I'm going to go Josh Sweat. I think every year he's gotten better. I think this is the year that he has an opportunity to even have a higher sack total than the guy like Hassan Reddick. Not saying he will. Has an opportunity. Sweat is going to be a 13-plus sack guy. I just don't know how many sacks we're going to get initially, because if I'm Bill Belichick, it's run, pass to the tight end. Run, pass to the tight end. So if that's the strategy, 12 personnel, a lot of running, it limits us in the opportunities to get sacked. But Sweat, 1.5.
What you think about Christian Gonzalez because of the injuries have to start outside?
He going to get a nice dose of Smitty. Welcome to the NFL. Now, listen, we liked him coming out the draft, but welcome to the NFL, young man.
Yeah. No, he's a good player. I'm not trying to throw shade at him, but I mean, that's a tough assignment, man. Your first week, you're forced into starting, and oh, crap, it's Devontae Smith across from you. That's a tough assignment, man, week 1.
Oh, Gate, you got to do your score prediction, and then I got to do mine.
Good luck with that, killer. Good luck with that.
I was trying to sneak it past too, bro.
I do got another question for you. Do you think it's me and Mike talked about it earlier? Do you think it's I think it's weird, but what do you think about the safety position, man? Like, we still don't know if it's going to be Sidney Brown or Edmonds that's going to be starting. We still don't know this, and we play in about an hour.
I think the floor is Edmonds. Edmonds is the floor guy. He's the safety net. He's the guy you know exactly what you're going to get from him. Terrell Edmonds. I think that ultimately our safety room will be as good as Reed Blankenship, as Sidney Brown, and as Justin Evans play. Justin Evans is a very high upside guy if you can get him back from those injuries. He was out of the league for, I mean, it's kind of remarkable he's stuck around because he missed like 3 consecutive seasons due to injury. Like it's a little crazy he's still stuck, but I mean, there is real talent with that dude. That dude is a really good player. The problem is like, you're coming back from this. He's been bounced all around between playing the nickel, between playing a little bit of a box safety role to the post safety. Like, he's never really had a lot of like continuity And I think that's what we can afford him here in Philadelphia is that stability and the continuity with the secondary here. Reed Blankenship was having a heck of a camp. Fresh, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that dude was all over the place. The reports were rolling in how good.
No, he's solidified. I already know. Yeah, he's solidified.
I'm curious to see who they start. I'm really curious if it's going to be Justin Evans and Reed Blankenship, or is it going to be Terrell Edmonds and Reed Blankenship when we're in our base set?
If you had to guess, like not who you like, knowing the Eagles
Terrell
and stuff.
Edmonds. Terrell Edmonds is who I would guess in base. I think we're going to see a lot of dime and nickel, big nickel. I think you're going to see a lot of dime and big nickel. And the only hesitation I have with big nickel is that to
even against this
play
team?
big nickel, you got to pull Avonte Maddox off the field. But if anything happens to Avonte where he gets shaken up, obviously, Goodrich is. I just looked at the inactives. He's inactive, so you're going to go big nickel. And I think the reason they're doing that is they feel really comfortable with Justin Evans being able to step up and kind of play a quasi nickel role.
They played Bradbury in the slot this offseason, right? So you can always put Josh Jobe on the outside and Bradbury in the slot.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting because we might be really good at safety or we might be looking to the draft next year. And it's really hard to say right now. I mean, there's no real game footage to break down yet. You know what I mean? Like, I heard someone say that they thought that Justin Evans was a better athlete than Terrell Edmonds. I don't know that I agree with that. I think he's a better coverage player. Yeah. I think Terrell Edmonds is a pretty dang good athlete, actually. I think he's
former first-round pick.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say I thought Justin Evans was definitely a better coverage player from the little bit I've seen so far. It's going to be interesting, man, because I think we got something if Desai is creative. I'm telling you, I know people are like, Gate, it was preseason. Don't hype us up like this. Man, the way they were playing the linebackers off the interior defensive line, I'm telling you, there's going to be a fifth rusher coming, but it's not going to always be coming from the 50 front. There's going to be some linebacker use. There's going to be some safety use. I wouldn't doubt that the nickel doesn't get involved in it. I wouldn't doubt they don't use some outside corner blitzes. Like, I got a feeling that Desai is going to be more creative with where that fifth guy comes from. A lot of the so-called blitzes that we had last year wasn't really a blitz. It was just coming from a five-man front. Anytime you're sending five guys, it's going to qualify technically as a blitz, although it's not conceptually, that's not what they're doing. So, I think you're going to see some different stuff from Desai. I know people are probably already going to be in the comment section like, yo, Gabe, pump the brakes, man. Don't be – because you're going to get us all excited. Then if you don't do it, we're going to be mad as hell. but I mean, like, it's what it feels like from what I saw from the film. I mean, this dude was not playing around in the red zone. He was testing out some stuff during the preseason with pressure packages. And there were some plays I disagreed with him, like the Killy Ringo covering half the field on the goal line. I was like, come on, Desai, bro. That's a tough ask for a rookie.
It is.
Like, what are we doing here? But, I mean, it showed that he's aggressive. Like, he was playing around to see, like, okay, if this is Bradbury or Slay covering half the field and I'm getting aggressive like this, is there a different result? Like, I think he's kind of aggressive, man, and I want to see it. I want to see what this looks like conceptually because Mac Jones he is not a dynamic athlete. He is very static in the pocket. If you get pressure coming right up into his face, man, there are going to be some opportunities. That's all I'm going to say.
I totally agree. Score prediction?
Mike is on that score prediction. Right? You just want to slip past that, man. All right, I'm going to say it's going to be a double-digit win. I'm going to say 24-13 week 1. But here's my qualifier. I think the game will be closer than what the score will let on. I think the distance is going to get created later. Because I do think, like, this offense has got to get a little bit into rhythm, right? It hasn't had a preseason to do that in terms of the games. It's had some camp stuff to do. But, this is going to be Bill Belichick. I think he's going to get the upper hand early. And then I think Nick and these guys, I think Brian Johnson, I think Jalen Hurts, I think they're going to get together. They're going to figure out what they're doing to take things away. And then our talent and Jalen Hurts' ability to just basically make you pay if he picks up on your tendency. I think he's going to take over, man. Everyone's focusing on that, like the RPO. If Bill can confuse you with who you're queuing in on, right? But that works for how many possessions before Jalen gets a counter?
Yep.
Like,
I totally agree. So I'm gonna start, and so let me get this out of the way first. My guy Lust with the $10 banger. He said, "Go Birds." Eagles anthem is out now on my channel and all platforms. Listen, go check out Lust, Lust, the S with a $sign. Go check him out on IG and, searching every platform, Twitter, IG, YouTube. He just dropped another Eagle song. I haven't heard it yet, but the last one was fire, so I'm definitely going to check it out. Why is Penny inactive and we will kill the Pats? Nobody knows why. It's a healthy scratch. It kind of caught everybody off guard, especially the way, he was being utilized in, preseason and whatnot, making the roster. Right there shows you, as Gate came in and said right off the grip, that I think he's more of a plan B in case Swift gets hurt or something like that. I would like to see a game where all three are active so we can see how the dynamic is with them three. That being said, Bolston Scott, Kenny G, and Swift will carry the load. I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of Kenny G rushing, some Swift rushing, but a lot of Swift receiving and different.
A lot of passes to the backs. I'm expecting them to, yeah. I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do on third down. If pressure comes, that's what I want to see is like, how does Brian Johnson's influence, because mind you, this is Nick Sirianni's offense, but how does Brian Johnson's influence differ from, Shane Steichen's influence when it comes to third down and pressure situations? Because I thought that was an area that we left some stuff, some meat on the bone, to be real. Like we definitely could have done better last year against pressure looks on third down. And I think that's an area to where like Brian Johnson coming in from Florida and some of the things we saw from his past, being a former quarterback himself, I'm interested to see what it looks like with him. He's the guy to me, like I'm really interested because now you got the eyes of a quarterback as your OC. I think that's going to be a really unique dynamic.
I like it. With that being said, we got one more super chat before I give my score prediction and we get up out of here. The game starts at 4:25. Make sure you hit the like button on all platforms. Subscribe to Gate City Sports Channel, Philly Fresh, the Philly Talk Podcast. I will be live at 3:45-ish, 3:50 to talk a little bit with y'all one-on-one and then do the live play-by-play. But 1946, Connie Mac Eagle fan with the $10 super chat. Hi, my friends. Are you ready for some football? My concern is the special teams. Our punter could sink and stink at the same time, and our returns aren't any better. I truly believe if we don't wake up, it could cost us a game or two. One of the biggest games of last season was brought down by some of the special team. I hear you, Connie Mac Eagle fan. How do y'all feel about special teams just for this week? I know that we got to still shape some things up. Special teams is going to be a work in progress throughout the whole season. But how do you feel about special teams? Sipas, Gate, give me your take on, Sipas.
I don't know what to make of Sipas because I don't think he was that bad before the injury. I don't know. Like, he was bad in the Super Bowl. Like, he was terrible in the Super Bowl. I don't know how much of that was him being rushed back. I don't know how they judge these things, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Internally with what goes on inside the building. I don't know. I know that there was a period of time that I thought he was playing decently, and I thought that he had, he was playing okay. Like, he was average, and that's all we need him to be is just freaking average for us. I'm concerned about coverage. I don't know what I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And like, we have Josh Jobe, and then who? Like, that's the thing. Is it Sidney Brown? Is it Kaylee Ringo? Like, who's the other gunner in terms of your coverage teams? Like, that part I don't know, and I don't know how that unit's going to work together. I think we're already on plan B or plan C here because McPherson was clearly going to be one of the other guys as the gunner. Well, McPherson got injured. So now you're kind of on that plan B, plan C situation here. Eli Ricks, who played a lot of gunner in the preseason, is inactive. That shocked me a little bit because I almost made a video telling people to pump the brakes a little bit about Eli Ricks being inactive, which I'm glad I didn't make it because he's inactive. But I was thinking to myself, like, he maybe he didn't score that high. They didn't grade him highly, but it's also harder to play as the gunner than other spots on special teams. So I was like, he played a lot. I wonder, if there's more comfort there than maybe we realize, but I don't know, Mike. Kaylee Ringo didn't play a lot of gunner in terms of the games. I don't know how much that matters. And then Sidney Brown did play it, but he played it more so as the inside guy. So it's when you double up with the gunner, you have the outside and you have an inside guy. Sidney would come in and be the inside guy. So I'm curious, Mike. I have no clue how they're going to do it.
On Madden, they got Keeley as a gunner.
They have him as the gunner on Madden?
On Madden.
I mean, athletically, it makes sense. But he didn't do it in terms of like the preseason games that much.
True, true. With that being said, I got the score being 31-20. Eagles get the dub. I think it's a little bit, 31-20. A late touchdown for the Patriots. If it's thunderstormy, rainy, that plays into the Patriots because they have a really good run defense. What they ranked, they were total defense 8th. I forgot where they ranked it against the run, but they are good against the run, so that plays favor. That helps them out. With that being said, until next time, y'all know what time it is. We are out. Peace.
Mike, you had a shout out request.
Huh?
You had a shout out request, man.
Where?
Hang on. It was for someone's kids. They were asking you to shout them out. It's Native and Sons, 219.
219.
219.
319.
319.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's my computer. I think the time's off my computer, so it's showing 219 on mine. But yeah.
Why can't I see it?
It says, Mike, any way you can give my sons Ashton and Native and Sons. Native and Sons. It's like one of the last comments I can see. It's pretty close to the bottom.
I see it.
I see it.
It's right under.
Yeah, real quick. Shout out
Marley.
to Ashen and Lyric. It will make their day. Hey, shout out to y'all, little Eagle fans. Little Eagle fans of the world are the most important because the youth is going to be taking over what we do. When I'm too old to do this and too old to get up and cheer out of my rocking chair, it's going to be the young ones. So shout out to Ashen and Lyric, newest members of the Philly Tall Podcast, Battle Bird Podcast, Eagle Nation. Again, keep supporting the birds, whether you're 3, 4, 5 to 100. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.